How's your world? And or do like I do with whenever I notice somebody that I can relate to what I think, oh man, they look like I feel. Hey, it's really being a tough day, isn't it? Like one time over at the Walmart pharmacy area, a poor dear precious beloved sitting there holding an inhaler in her hand, having a hard time breathing. And all I did was go over there and hug her and say, it's not easy, is it? Or, and again, the door opened up for a 1 minute, 2 minute time of Jesus to them in my love and understanding, and saying a quick prayer for them too. I mean, God will open the door if you're just willing, and you don't have to be worried about, oh, I don't know how to preach, I don't know how to pray. Don't have to worry about that. Just be willing to understand, to give somebody the feeling of you are acceptable, you are a person of worth, that somebody's paying attention to you. You are somebody. Give them that validation in their life. Everybody's in uproar, again, about, I think it was a song that was sung at the Super Bowl, and I can't even find the song, but I think if I read right somewhere, that she sang about Black Lives Matter.
Sort of,
like
Beyonce,
that.
yeah, sort of, yeah, part of it was that.
But to me, all ALL lives matter.
Yeah.
Every person is a precious, unique, wonderful person. And we need to recognize that, regardless of the way they look, they smell, talk, whatever, their life matters. And how we react to them, make them feel loved and accepted, or we will repulse them and make them feel angrier.
Yeah.
And we don't want that, do we?
No.
We do not want to perpetuate the hurt that has made them look the way they look to begin with. It's so hard in my own family's life. It's hard for me to figure out why. Why did you want to put that tattoo there, or that type of tattoo there, or why do you want to put that nose ring in your ear? There's a lot of things that I see that I'm going, why? Because I'm 68 years old and I would never do it.
Yeah.
But that's because I was raised when I was raised. Different time now, that's for sure. But still, I wonder sometimes, why? Why do you? Oh, but then it always goes back to this one reason why. They feel insecure, and they feel, I need to do something other to change, to make a difference, to be drastically going in the direction of casting out into the deep. This is leading into the second part of casting out into the deep. Going into a different direction. See, they've been fishing all night, but they had to change. They had to go fishing in the daytime. Better time to fish. But people go into the weirdest of all directions to make themselves feel like I am. They want to be noticed, maybe, so they do drastic things to get noticed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So let's take a look at that, casting into the deep within, and find out what may be blocking us from being confident and full of faith to trust in God and step out into the action to go cast out into the world to reach out to another person and make them feel loved. It goes back to simply this. We have to love ourselves first before we can love others. So cast into the deep, which is really hard to do because sometimes we don't want to go there. It's too painful to admit to the truth. Look what, 2 weeks in a row now, God's been leading up to this type of talk. We had the mustard seed faith talk last week where we said tiny acts and tiny actions will lead to miracles that grow quickly. And then the week before that, was talking about, if I'm pulling down my things, your deadly sins, the deadly behavior, the things that we can do in the little ways that can lead up into big ways of being destructive to our lifestyle. Remember those things? We're not listening. The week before that, God was trying to get us to realize the importance of coming into His presence so He can minister to us, talk to us, teach us, guide us, lead us, reveal the things that need to be revealed to us. And, oh, yeah, there was the show 84. Well, it's 84 on my notes, but it's another show out there, the thing. But the
We're
show
close.
before the mustard seed was You Are Not Listening. And that's really interesting because the Ezekiel 12, verses 1 through 2, one of the reasons why God says, do not be discouraged. Do not worry about whether or not what you say or what you're doing is having any effect. In Ezekiel 12, verse 1 through 2, he gave this reading to me just today. I opened at random, and there it is. He talks about tribe of rebels who have eyes and never see and ears that never hear. There are these people that no matter what you say, no matter what you do, they're not going to hear, they're not going to see. But why? And the answer is that they've got this hard heart, all of hardness that's been built up because they've been hurt so bad. They have really been hurt in their life. And until they're ready to hear or want to hear or want to change and get away from that, nothing you say or do, nothing you say, I'm going to change to nothing you say. But one thing you can always do, and that's love. Yeah. That's to look at them with eyes and say a silent prayer for them. I think I mentioned this once before in a show, that over in Medjugorje, one of the girls that sees Mary and gets messages from her, they received a message from Mary talking about, give my mother's blessing to people. And she said, you can give them to people, you can give them to animals, you can give it anywhere. You can just ask the mother's blessing upon somebody. And she was walking there in the little town of Medjugorje, and somebody was walking toward her who had eyes that looked like the devil. And she silently said a prayer for him that helped him to find Jesus, and Mother, give him your blessing. And she prayed that he would somehow, some way, God would reach out and get through to him. Now, he notices that she's looking at him. And the next day, he comes back and said, what did you say and what did you do? What were you doing? Because during the night, he went through that inner battle of hating God, but at some point, God came through to reach out with his love and mercy and compassion to where he changed right then and there during the night because of that girl's blessing. Yeah. And praying for the mother's blessing. So no matter what you think, you don't need to say anything to anybody. As long as you are reaching out with your eyes and smile and a silent prayer, too. Lord, whatever they're going through in their life, bless them, Father. Help them in their life. Reach out to them and show them somehow, some way or another. Bring a miracle into their life that lets them know that you are very much watching over them and loving them and caring for them. I remember one time I worked in an inpatient hospice care for 2 years practically. And we had a hallway that separated. You had rooms on one side and rooms on the other side. I know I've told this story before, but it's worth repeating. There was on one side a Catholic man in a coma, and on the other side, Grumpy Grump, angry, hostile, like your man you were talking about.
Yeah.
And one morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, EWTN always had the Divine Mercy Chaplet on, singing it. And because the man was in a coma, and we were in there giving him a bath, because he was Catholic, I had it turned on. And I was singing along with it, too. Not realizing that through the little open door, and the other guy on the other side of the hall was open, and I didn't realize it, that prayer was going across the hallway. Huh. For the sake of your sorrowful passion, have mercy on us and the whole world. Singing it sounds like something like this. For the sake of your sorrowful passion, have mercy on us and on the whole world. Jesus promised Sister Faustina who he appeared to and who and asked her to get this devotion going, where the Divine Mercy devotion. Google it, folks, Divine Mercy devotion, and what it's all about. I promised her that even if a person only heard that chaplet one time on their deathbed, they will be touched and converted.
Wow.
Well, the next day, there was a change in the man, and he became a person that was just totally a kind-hearted person, a different person. So what we do in our life, people, does make a difference if we have faith and believe and do. Peter said, just because you said, God, to do this, I will do it. I will, even though it's not worked before, I will cast out into the deep. An instant miracle happened. This can happen in your daily life all the time if we just believe my little tiny seed faith effort and my obedience can make a difference. Now, case in point, one of the hardest things for anybody to do is lose weight, and it takes effort. It takes effort, and
Amen.
It takes a belief that I can do this if I just obey what I'm being told to do. And in my case, what I've been told to do, and what I did twice, lost 30, 40 pounds with it real quickly, eat slow, eat small bites, eat a small amount, no more than what the stomach should hold, which is no more than a large soup bowl. Now, I'm not talking big soup bowl here now. I'm talking like a cup and a half of food. And eat slow, eat small amounts. And then wait until you're hungry again. We got to say no to that hunger that comes from the emotional hunger. And we also need to realize that if we put any kind of sweets into our life, we're setting ourselves up for failure. In that, when we eat sweets, 2 hours later, I want to eat sweets again. And that has to do with the metabolism of the body, dealing with sugars in your body. Okay? Everybody got that? So if you want to have a success in your eating program and losing weight and getting back to healthier, then just follow those rules. Wait till you're hungry. Eat slow. Eat small amounts. And get the sugars out of your life. For right now, you need to get them out of your life. The other thing, too, about that, while you're eating, don't be doing anything else but eating. No TV, no computer games.
Really?
No reading. Yeah.
Well, I don't play computer games.
Yeah.
I'm surprised by the TV thing, but go ahead. Sorry.
Well, the reason why number one, you're not noticing what you're doing when you got your mind elsewhere. When you're eating, you should be noticing, this food. You notice the smell, the taste, the flavor, the texture.
Huh.
Notice what you're doing so you can enjoy the food. You also notice that, I don't particularly care for this, so why eat it if you don't care for that? That's a waste of calories. I don't know how many times that I tasted something and said, forget this. I'll go find something I really enjoy eating. So and then that's also a time for me, and I've been doing this, and it makes a difference. I sit down at table. God and man are set down. At church, we talk about coming to the table of the Lord to receive the Eucharist. But at home, we come to the table to be in the presence of God. I sometimes have this Bible there with me, but most of the time I'm just sitting there talking to God and pretending like he's right there. And we're talking, it's just time to sit and visit and time to just be, too. I'm looking out at the birds, at the trees. I'm enjoying the quiet, just listening and being there. And just enjoying rest and a time of drawing away to rest, relax. That's what the meal should be all about. It should not be a hurried process. It's the same way when you're doing anything every day in the world. Do not multitask. That leads into accidents. It leads to stress. It leads to anxiety. Just do what you do and do it well. Do what you do and do it well. That's the seed